Hello. Hello. We are live. We'll just be waiting for everybody to join. So bear with us as we're live waiting for people to join. I'm just going to check my feed. To check that it'll hear. And that was the reverb from my phone. So we are here waiting for everybody. We're a little early. So we're starting 5 minutes early just to get everybody here. I'm going to go to LinkedIn quickly and share the URL so that people can find us. So if you're on social media right now, you can come and say hello. And if you've already joined early, well done for being prompt. We are live in 4 minutes on YouTube. And here's the link, and I'll post that. So we are here getting ready for everybody. I'm going to check the feed again to make sure we're all operational, because that's the crazy thing about social. And that was the Yeah, we are all operational here. So it's Friday afternoon. This week has gone really fast, Vasco. What do you think? Really crazy
it's
week?
been, probably because we've also been out doing courses, and that sort of cut the week in half. But all of a sudden it's Friday, and there's so much to do still.
I know, the weeks go so quickly. One of the things I've been thinking about as I'm doing this is there's so much time gets kind of cut up and taken by little tiny stuff.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you get to the end of the week and you go,
I've done nothing.
what have we actually done? All these little time-saving things that are really, really, time-draining things that hit us and drain us away. It's really frustrating. So, yes, we're just waiting for everybody to join. It's 12:58, so we're still 2 minutes early. When I do this, if you're joining this on a replay on YouTube, skip forward 2 more minutes to 5 minutes into the live. But if you're here already, please do say hello in the chat box. We'll be using the chat box to answer your questions as we get going. We are still early, so if you're here early, say hello in the chat, and we will get started in about 2 or 3 minutes. Just once the feed's bedded down and once everybody's in, and we'll just go for it and show you these three social media hacks. These things really have helped me in figuring out what I should be doing on social media, what matters on social media. Hey, Tadarat, hello and welcome. We're going to be going through this whole stuff in a few minutes. We'll just wait for everybody to turn up, get involved, and away we go. But these things have really helped me focus on what matters for social media. What is the thing that I should be doing that makes the difference? And, to be honest with you, social media, you can waste a lot of time. A huge amount of time. So these things have really helped me focus in what should I be doing to get the best results? What can I quit doing? What can I... Hi, Ricky. Welcome. What should I be doing that makes the most impact? What should I be quitting? What should be... Hi, Tony. We're pretty much live here. There may be a couple of seconds delay, but I will say hello and respond to your chat messages here. If you're not following me on YouTube, please subscribe, press the subscribe button, because I try and put this stuff out. Part of my sales process is to give a lot of free stuff. So we do this through digital resources and stuff, but we give a lot of free stuff. So please do hit that subscribe, and every time we put something out, you'll be able to rewatch it and remember it and find us, because social media is just rammed with people. So it's really important you subscribe, and then you can find us in the future. So as we get started here, there's a few more people yet to join, but I want to say to you about social media a couple of things before we dive in. You can waste a lot of time. You can waste a ton of time, and you think you're doing things that are going to make a difference, and then lo and behold, what happens? You've spent hours and hours doing something and got no results. Anybody had that experience? I know I have, and it's really, really annoying. You can spend hours and hours putting together a blog post, putting together all your social media content plans, and then all of a sudden you realize actually it went out and it tanked. Anybody had that experience of a tanked social media campaign or a social media posting schedule? And maybe some of you have gone, maybe does social media even work? In fact, I published a stat earlier this week that said 57% of social media marketers surveyed said that they didn't generate any revenue from social media at all. Any revenue. They didn't know where they were making money from, and they weren't certain whether it was social media, which is pretty scary. So as we go through these 3 social media hacks I'm going to share with you, and we'll just wait a couple of minutes for people to get on board. I've just sent a reminder on LinkedIn. Some people have probably gone to the pub and ditched us, but we'll share 3 things that will help you focus what you're doing on social media really tightly, so that you get the right people looking, the right people engaging, and whether that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or anywhere else. Hey, Maynard Lee Associates, wherever you are, it will help you figure out the best things that you can do to make an impact. So if you're here, get into the chat and ask questions as we go. I'm going to start sharing screens and some slides, but I don't want to bore you with loads of slides. I want to show you some stuff that will help you and help you on your journey to making social media work. So hopefully you can see on my screen some slides. If you can see them, let me know in the screen, because all I see is slides. I don't see you. I just see your chat messages to say that you're there. So if you're there and you can see the slide, please let me know in the chat. Before we get into that, as we go, please comment in the chat box. We'll answer your questions as we go. Please subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. So I'm going to share 3 things now with you. We've got about half an hour. I promise we'll be done. Hi, Lucas. I promise you we'll be done by just after 1:30. This will go up onto YouTube afterwards. And if you want a copy of these slides, feel free to drop us a line, message me on LinkedIn, follow me on LinkedIn, and I'll share the slides with you. So, social media. It is a channel. It's an amazing opportunity for you to use to get attention, grow your audience, and ultimately make sales. That's why we're using social media. That's why social media matters. So this 3 social media hacks to help you get better results. They're 3 little things that you can do that will instantly improve your social media. And it will instantly, as soon as you implement this, show you where you're going wrong. So it isn't a kind of, oh, I'm going to turn your social media around in 24 hours, but it will start to help you get sales from social media very, very quickly. So the first slide I'm going to talk to you about is no engagement, no audience. If you're publishing content and nobody is liking and commenting on it, it means nobody's going to see it. People will forget you quickly. So when people forget you quickly, you have to be in their feeds and in their minds on a regular basis, statistically, around 15 or 16 times to really be remembered. 15 or 16 times. Now, the downside for you is if you're not getting engagement on social media, the platforms will not allow you to be seen by other people. So why do likes and comments matter? Likes and comments matter because the more likes and comments you get, the more likely it is you're going to be shown elsewhere. So the general rule is that if, and I call this the rule of 48. So the rule of 48, write this down. I teach it in all of our training, but the rule of 48 is something that I've come to trust that helps me be seen on social media. So it is this: the people who engaged, by engage I mean like or commented on your posts on social media in the last 48 hours are the most likely people to see you in the next 48 hours. Everybody get that? The last 48 hours of engagement are probably going to be the first people to see you in the next 48 hours. So engagement, likes and comments do matter in terms of being seen by the right people, because otherwise people will forget who you are. They'll go, who was that person? What was that blog? Who was that? And they'll just search, and you may not be the people they find. So it does matter that you go for engagement. So people forget you really quickly. No engagement, no audience. The next one I want to say is the platforms forget you really quickly. So that rule of 48 hours is critical that you design some of your content to get engagement. Not just push stuff out there and hope it gets seen by 20 people. Make sure you do things that have engagement. And I'll show you in the next section how to put that together. I'll also show you one of the third hack that I'm going to show you is a really simple way to write content that will get you interest from the target market. It's a real simple way you can do it. Everybody's still with me and alive. Nobody's fallen asleep yet, right? Just let me know in the chat if you're still here. I'm using the slides as my mental jogs, but feel free to chip in the comments and ask questions as we go. So engagement is a critical thing. I'm glad you're not dead yet, Ricky. That would be an unfortunate incident. Engagement would be a critical thing you should pursue. People say it's not about likes and comments, and you don't have to get thousands of likes and comments. It's likes and comments from the right people. So they're really important to have them, and that is how you will get seen more often by those people, and that's how you get more aggregated on social media generally. So I'll talk about that in a little minute again, but I want to go through some other bits and pieces before we go there. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is your content sandwich. Excuse the dodgy clip art. I made this slide a little bit earlier. But the content sandwich is something you must be doing. So one of the things you need to think about, whether it be your company page or your personal profile on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is not just think about it as a broadcast channel. Think about it as a conversational channel. And the reason I say that is when you start to think about your audience and what matters to your audience, you'll be able to structure your content really quickly to be able to get that engagement. So the content sandwich is just a way of deciding what to do, what days, and what the results are. And I'm going to flick through this for you now to explain this for you. So, too much of the same stuff puts people off. Remember when I said earlier, engagement, likes and comments matter. If you're just sharing links to your website all the time, you will not get the engagement on the post that you need for them to see you again in the future. Or for you to stay in their feed, if they're friends or connections or followers. So what you really need to be doing is making sure that you are producing content that gets engagement. And if you share external links all the time, you will not get the engagement, because if you publish a really exciting blog on your website and share it on social media, that's broadcasting thinking, broadcast mentality. Get it out there. What will happen is the people that do see it will go and click through, and when they click through, they might enjoy the article, but they may not come back and give you that like or comment, which means that they're less likely to see you again in the future. All the social media algorithms are different, but if you focus on the rule of 48, that the people who see your stuff in the next 48 hours will be the people who engaged, liked or commented in the last 48 hours. That really matters. So too many external links, like blog posts all the time, can be dangerous. So too much of the same thing can put people off. That could be, for an example, sharing blog post links to your website. That could also be sharing the same type of content, images, videos, just text. Mix it up. Likewise, if you just share big lengthy thought pieces, what's really important as well is that you mix light bites and big meals. So often people are really, really busy, so they flick through social media. So you have to get their attention to get them to stop. Hi Andy, welcome to the feed. Hopefully you can rewatch. We've not gone through too much so far. But you have to mix light bites and big meals. If you do big pieces all the time, what will happen is people won't have the time to read them all. So they'll know you produce good stuff, but they won't read it all and they won't get the value from it. So light bites and big meals. Try and make sure that you have a good balance of light bites and big meals. A light bite could just be a little post. A big meal could be an article or a more lengthy post. Try and do some short things that might just be an image and a caption, say. Try and do a long video, but mix it up. Give a variety of different things in your content on social media. So light bites, big meals. Next one. Right. Some of you won't like this. Bread makes the sandwich, but the fillings make it tasty. So the bread is the core stuff that holds everything together. That's who you are, what you do, the value you can deliver. But actually, when you buy a sandwich, you look at the filling, and it's the filling that gets the appetite going. So you have to understand that whilst you've got light bites and big meals, you've also got things that grab people's attention, things that get people's juices going, things that whet people's appetite. And yes, you need those big long pieces, and yes, you need those big thought leadership pieces, and yes, you need the seriousness stuff. That's the stable stuff. That's the bread. You actually need the short, interesting, funny stuff in the middle to help it come together. So I'm going to share with you some things. So your fillings of your content sandwich should evoke emotions. So whether that's funny, sad, interesting, curious, happy, angry, confused, your fillings, which are the things that people are drawn to, are the things that will probably get you the most engagement. Your fillings will get you the most engagement. So that could be a clip, it could be something humorous, it could be something controversial, But you have to use those fillings to draw attention or to get people to have a bite of the sandwich. So they have to tie in with what you're doing. They have to tie into the relevance of your business. But these could be, for an example, if you look at my LinkedIn feed, these could be things like sometimes I'll share a clip from a movie and illustrate a point from my business as a result of this. Some of you will have heard of this bit from some of the courses I run. The next section you probably won't have seen before, but you have to alternate it. If you're serious and dry all the time, sell all the time, you won't get the engagement, you won't get the interest, and it won't perform very well for you. So fillings invoke your fillings of your content sandwich, the bits between the big beefy material or your sales material have to invoke emotion in one way, shape or form. Dry bread is dry bread, of course. Dry bread is dry bread. So if you, I use Vasco's example of this. If you go down the pub with a friend of yours and all they talk about is how amazing their selling their product is at work, after about 3 times down the pub, you probably get a bit sick of hearing the same stuff. So even if you're in one particular sector or one particular thing, if you're obsessed with and all you talk about is just you, me, you will bore people. So use the content sandwich, mix it up, offer people a bit of variety of humor, interest, and that in between. Even on a company page, whether that be Facebook, LinkedIn, or anywhere else, mix it up. Don't stay with just the bread. So again, don't sell. Write posts to show expertise, great. And they can't be like bragging stuff. They have to be something where you share an opinion or some advice or some guidance. Write some posts to engage. That's the bits that get people to see you, the rule of 48. And importantly, write things to sell. You'd be surprised how many people are on the different sides of the chasm. There are people writing stuff that gets tons of engagement but can't sell anything. And then you've got people who are sell and get no engagement. These people over here with the engagement obsession get tons of engagement but don't sell anything. And these people over here get no engagement and try and sell everything. So you need to have the balance of both there. Yeah? Both things have to happen, engagement and selling. But you have to mix your posts and give that variety, give that sandwich of different stuff in between to engage people. And let me give you some other examples of engagement. People love infographics. Infographics for your target audience on social media are amazing. People love bite-sized, really simple things, tips and hints and cheats and da-da-da-da. So use those really, really well. Yeah? You see more of what you have liked or commented on before. That's the element of the content sandwich with engagement. So the first is the rule of 48. First hack, rule of 48. You see more of what you've liked and commented on before. So if you test this yourself, start liking and commenting on some things and watch what happens to your feed. You start to see more of that. So you need to understand and go, well, actually, I need to apply this to my own page, to my own profile, and go, what am I going to do to create content that will actually get people to respond? And I'll show you how that works in the next section. So this is the simple content map. And I'm doing this quickly because I said I'd do it in half an hour. And I don't want to take up too much of your time on a Friday afternoon. You probably want to sneak off from the office early. So the simple content map is a way to build your content sandwich that incorporates the rule of 48. Now, it's a little bit complicated, but you can have a look at this yourself. And if you message me, I'll send you a template of how this works, or I can send you the slides. So this is my simple content map. So if you can see it, it's on your screen. It's a bit vibrant, but these are some of the audiences that I'm looking to talk to. I will generally talk to three types of clients: marketers, salespeople, business owners. They're my ideal clients. Now they have very different needs, wants, and everything. So I would make one of these for each audience. So a marketing one, a business owner one, and a sales one. So I'm going to walk you through how this looks for a salesperson. So we've got three columns here. We've got the size of the company I'm talking to or I want to talk to. Then we have the way that they're approaching the subject that I want to talk about. And then there's the goal of what I want to do with that piece of content. So the first one is really easy. Am I talking to startups, established businesses, or corporates? Then the next one is their mental posture about the service, solution, product that I am trying to promote, set, or sell. So they could have a negative approach to it. They could have a positive approach to it. They could have a neutral approach. Now, what's really important is the neutral one is the total boring one. Avoid neutral postured posts because they get very little engagement and they don't invoke any emotion. You can try, but you've got to get people to click through and read them and engage with them. And often it comes down to one line, either a blog post title or the top line of the post that makes the difference. So a negative or positive approach to this content really does make a difference. And then the third column is what I want out of it. So who I'm talking to. So over above this, I'm talking to salespeople. Then I've got the size of the company. Then I've got the posture of the post or the outlook of the post, and then the goal. So if I flick screens here, I'll now show you this how it works in practice. And your screen's probably a couple of seconds behind mine. So if I was talking to startups, and they were negative, a negative tone, and I'm looking to get awareness. So I'm looking to get awareness. So this way I will write a post or an article or a blog post, which I would share on social media perhaps, or write it natively on social media, of the 5 ways startups fail in sales. Now, the reason why I've dropped it a negative posture is some people process their position. Why, like for an example, a business is going, why aren't our sales growing as quickly as they should? What's the issue there? There's some issue. What's going on? So I would write this to cater for the people who process their sales-related functions in their business in a negative way. They want to do something about it, but they think there's something wrong. Then I've created another version of this for a post because I'm looking for engagement, which is, are your sales recession proof? Yeah? Or is your startup sales process recession proof? Question mark. Why is it a question? Because I'm asking people to engage. If you don't ask a question, you're broadcasting. So ask a question, share a thought, share your opinion, and ask people for their opinion, because this post is about engagement. And I've gone on a negative slant because I'm trying to appeal to people who have a negative frame of mind about their sales process at the moment. When you go neutral doesn't say anything to anybody. It doesn't say positive, it doesn't say negative. It's just people who are just floating and considering. Very few people are neutral on sales, marketing, or anything. So positive or neutral always works. And I'll show you maybe some positive examples in a second. So here we go. So a simple content map, startups, positive, call to action, free download, smash your sales in 2020. Yeah? Smash your sales in 2020, free download, and the call to action. So this would be an article or a link that I would share, or even a post that I could write and share the link in the post that would teach people how to smash their sales in 2020 using the simple content map. So startups that can the free download startups sales smash in 2020. You just put that in. Then the second one here is the negative version of that, and it's just a rough guide for you. Free download, stop sales drop off in 2020. People will process their thoughts about social media and content in very different ways. And when I bring my love of politics and the following of politics here, is when you have a very clear argument to one group of people with one tone that resonates with them, they will jump on it. So neutral really struggles to punch through and land with people, but a positive or negative slant on the post will really hit home hard. So choose a tone. You could go with a tone for a month, or you could alternate the tone, but be very clear about how you're doing it. Even if you went and goes, this week we're going to talk to startups, and we're going to have a negative tone, and we're going to do some awareness, engagement, and a call to action post. And you just plan it out like that. This makes your content writing really easy, because suddenly you've got a frame and a structure to work within, rather than what most people do. They open the screen and start typing and hope for the best. So use your content map in that way. I'll just go back to the main screen of this again. So you would fill this content map up with your key audiences. So if you don't have a diverse audience, you might have, accountants, lawyers, and coaches there. So what am I going to write to accountants in a negative slant that brings awareness of who I am or my product or my company? Or who am I going to talk to with coaches? Positive. So for an example, in this scenario, I could do an engagement post saying, do you believe that your sales are going to rise in 2020? What's your plan to grow your business and increase sales in 2020? ? It's a very simple map that we use here to write our content. We use it here to write for customers' content, and help them structure it in a way that makes it really, really simple. So just to recap, because I said 30 minutes and I promised to keep on time, rule of 48. If you don't engage people in 48-hour period, they're probably not going to see you in the next 48-hour period. So whilst you want to get your sales propaganda out there, and we all do, we all want people to see it, ease up on a bit, because more people will see you as a result of alternating and using content in different ways. And that's where the content sandwich comes in. Alternate content so that you're evoking emotion between your stuff that's designed to sell or promote who you are. That will help you keep a crowd and keep people coming back. And actually, it's the engagement posts, the fillings between your promotional and sales propaganda that will actually get people to click that follow button and click that like button and click that subscribe button. Please feel free to click that subscribe button, by the way. It's those things will keep people coming back, not your heavy duty stuff all the time. And then finally, have a really, really simple content map that will help you structure what to write, what tone, and what's the goal. And if you do the content map before you write, you'll probably find your post will become much more successful, because it'll be very clear and it will be hyper relevant to the people you want to do business with. That's no good. The days of just putting generic posts and hoping to appeal to everybody are over. I'm not sure they ever began, but they are over. Tony, feel free to hit like buttons, but subscribe, do whatever you like. That would be fantastic. I'll share this with anybody. I might actually put the slides up on LinkedIn. So if you follow me on LinkedIn or you're connected with me on LinkedIn, you'll be able to see them in my feed. But they're really, really important. Rule of 48. If people don't engage, they're probably not going to see you. The way to get engagement is to sandwich your content. put some meat in there that gives people emotions, put some fillings in there that create some humour, some lightheartedness, some interest, some curiosity, and finally map it out with your simple content plan, which is literally draw the boxes. And I've got little boxes where I literally draw the lines between the boxes to help people understand which ones we're doing. So that if I was talking to an established business, I'd have a positive tone and I wanted people to engage. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to achieve to make that happen. So that's it. And I've got no upsell. My only request is if you've enjoyed this video, rave about it on social media, like and subscribe on this video, share the video if you can. I'll put the slides up on LinkedIn. But I promise you, this is all I do. We can make our world really complicated. Yeah, we can make our lives very, very complicated. And the problem when we make it complicated is it becomes unsustainable. So I have to be able to run my business and produce my content in a really straightforward way. So these three things really help me. First of all, I've got to keep people engaged. Second, I've got to spice it up to keep people engaged. And third, I need a map to make sure I'm doing all the stuff and my content is hitting the mark of the people and I'm not just putting junk out there or crap or stuff that pleases nobody or interests nobody. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to find me on LinkedIn.
Three social media things which you could also ask everyone, which is to go and like our company page.
Vasco's got something. Go like the company page on LinkedIn,
the
Maverick, Facebook, all those.
And
find
subscribe YouTube.
Yeah, you got it. Guys, I'll put these slides up on LinkedIn. Feel free to like and comment and share them. I'll put the video on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you all. I hope this has been beneficial. And if you want a hard copy of this, a PDF sending over, just drop me a line. I'll ping it to you. Awesome. See you all soon, guys, and thanks for watching.